Hey folks, this is JVizzle49, and I'm going to warn you right now, if you're not really into my serious rant videos, find something else to watch now. What I'm going to talk about is something that I personally care about, and you're probably going to jump on me and say the $10 a year Xbox Live price hike, to which I say, what planet did you come from, you complete twit? What I'm going to talk about is real. Someone came up with this. Other people thought this was a good idea, and this was released. I would not actually be surprised if you've heard about this, because this has been on pretty much every major publication in the history of mankind. The photo I am about to show you is real with a slight MS Paint alteration, and I will explain why in a minute. I will ask you a question and give you about 10 seconds to think about it. What do you think of when you see this? Nine and 10. Okay, I am now going to reveal what message this was supposed to convey. That's the blacked out part. If you said the Drake advantage, your potential, plus our opportunities, you got the message that was supposed to be conveyed. If you said a grade that was slightly better than failing, then you agree with every single sane human being in the existence of this planet! I apologize for having to raise my voice back there, but this pains me even more now that I know the inner workings of this garbage. What this is a marketing campaign. They send stuff out to prospective students, which would be like sophomores and juniors in high school. And I remember those times, and I remember throwing a lot of that crap away because I was frankly not interested in some of the schools. So naturally, you would narrow your mail down to what you truly cared about. And if that's like 5 different schools, this is an immediate turnoff to one of them, if Drake is one of them. If I understand correctly, and I might not because I'm getting this information secondhand, but there was an outside company that actually was hired to come up with a new marketing plan to get more applicants. What pains me is, when they came up with this idea, that they didn't ask any of the actual students what they thought of it. They didn't ask any faculty members what they thought of it. That's the one that pains me the most. They didn't ask marketing professors. You know why Drake hires their professors? They're experts in their respective fields! Are you crazy? Really, the reason I'm talking about this is because this made international news. This was on the front page of Yahoo News. Worldwide. You have any idea how many people visit Yahoo News per day? Millions and millions and millions. Though some people prefer to read newspapers. It's been on several major ones, including the two that I've heard, the London Times and the Chicago Tribune. There's a Times Delphic article on it. The Times Delphic would, of course, be our university newspaper. And it's something you can view online. And there's a reader poll on it. The poll asks, what grade would you give the Drake Advantage campaign? A, the website is great, I would apply to Drake. B, gets the message across. Not sure about the logo. C, they should have asked the marketing students first. D, really? Or F, I'm transferring to Creighton. Creighton, of course, would be a university. I think it's in northeastern Missouri. Though I could be wrong. Probably should have done some research on that before I hit that record button, didn't I? Well, I can take great pride in the fact that I did more effective research in 5 minutes than the guy that came up with this stupid thing did over the course of several months. A lot of people are upset by this. Students, pretty much all of the faculty and staff, more specifically parts of the business school and the journalism school, which I would have never thought in my 4 years at Drake that the business school and journalism school would ever agree on anything ever. I guess there's a first time for everything. Why those two schools specifically? Well, you have marketing, which is under business. Marketing, very, very bad here. They obviously did not do things correctly. And I think how this actually came about was because this was done mostly in isolation. There were actually focus groups on this. The focus groups apparently responded positively to this. And I guess the criteria for responding positively to this was, would you take notice of this? And a lot of them said yes. Now, just the fact that you would take notice of it doesn't necessarily mean that you would think well of it. That's another thing entirely. And then, of course, you got the public relations, which falls under journalism and mass communication, as this has gone out there over the past, couple weeks or something. This campaign, officially started back in July. I think the real thing to watch is that these campaigns normally last about 2 or 3 years. And I think everyone from the faculty to even the president is watching how this campaign goes very cautiously and may actually pull it before its 2 to 3 year span is up and think of something different. The question is, should they pull it? And I ask this question because it's already out there and the evidence of damage to the reputation is already there. And I would still say, yes, they should pull it. To avoid further damage to reputation. Because PR relations with Drake, especially over the last 18, maybe 24 months, has been very, very bad. But I think this is the first thing that's really gone international, that at least I can remember. It's just mind-numbing how inherently stupid this is. And I'm trying to hold back my thoughts on wanting to kick the person who ever came up with this idea swiftly across the face. You know, when I think of Drake University, I think of prestige. I think of it being a much better choice than a ton of other public schools. Drake University, if you don't know, is a private university. And it's a real shame, really. I don't think this discredits any of that. Because apparently, if you were to open it up and actually read it, it's very, very compelling. And I say apparently because I've had to rely on secondhand accounts, because once again, I am not part of the target market, since I'm already a student at the university, and that wouldn't make any bloody sense whatsoever. The problem lies within how this is publicly perceived now that it's out there. Sports teams are already getting ridiculed about this. That's the sad part. People are being ridiculed about this, and they don't even know about it! Let me say that again. In a much quieter voice this time, and not as much enraged. People are being ridiculed and questioned on this whole break advantage thing, the D plus thing, when they don't even know that the campaign exists or what it is doing to its reputation. The incompetence just stuns me. I can't get over it. When students, such as myself, look into jobs and start going in for interviews, one thing that they'll probably ask is how you're supposed to defend this whole D plus thing. Which enrages me more than most playthroughs of I Want to Be the Guy. It's that bad. I know what you're thinking. You're asking me, if you were in charge of the marketing department, what would you want to have as like a sort of logo for your new campaign to get more prospective student applicants? And mine is quite a simple one. Actually, I really can't say it's mine. My marketing professor came up with this one. And I thought it was 50,000 times better than this garbage. It looks like this. And once again, please excuse the poor MS Paint, but I think you get the point across. Looks much better, doesn't it? Is he an A+? That would mean that when you think of Drake, you would think of high grades and high expectations. And that could come with a second meaning, with the A. The A could stand for advantage. This is not rocket science! This is marketing 101! Seeing me get to the 13-minute mark is telling me that I've been rambling on one subject for way too long. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for listening to my inane ramblings if you got this far. And I'll see you again, hopefully when times are better. See ya.